I've had no representative from the World War II Cadet Nurse Corps. For the last 5 years, Sarah Payne from Iron Gate has celebrated with us. She entered the medical school here in Clifton Forge and served at the end of World War II in the Naval Yard in Brooklyn, New York. And when I honored her 5 years ago, she said, "I've never had that before." So we say goodbye and thank Sarah for her service. I have a list of 18 veterans that fought in Korea in 1953 or served in Korea after 1953. It appears to me that we have I believe 7 checks here. Mr. Bernie Jeffries, Dr. Jack Backles, Mr. Paul Curtis, James Drury, George Benoit, and Bert C. Have I missed anybody? Now we're going to recognize Vietnam War. Those people weren't recognized when they got home, and I have a list of 32. And I have 14 here today, and I thank you all for coming out. Mr. Roger Kirk, David Olchin, Jenny Olchin, W. Edward Mansfield, Dr. Mansfield, Richard Erskine, Kenneth Lohman, James Mays, John Taylor, David Thurston, Jim Rhodes, Chuck Almaraz, Dale Comer, Richard Fridley, and Roger Height. And we thank you for your service. Then we got into wars that were very difficult to follow as an individual war. I call these the Middle East conflicts. I have 12 veterans who served in the Middle East. All of them were invited. And the only 2 people that I see checked here are myself and Paul Lincolnhoker. I hope I haven't missed anyone. There's also a list. The end of my list, I have 9 veterans that I didn't know where they served, and it was after we were able to develop this space that I could expand the veteran numbers as big as I did. So I started writing them at the end. And I'm not sure I have that list of us here, but I know that Hezekiah Spinner is here, is he not, right? He showed up at our farmer's market with a cap on. I said, "I need your name." And he's here today. Others that on that list, I know he's not here. I believe that is all of the veterans. So, yes, sir. Don Wright? Sean Wright. Sean, thank you. Sean, thank you, Paul. I knew that. I just processed her this morning as a life member of the VFW. And Tammy Connor. Thank you. Thank you for bringing these forward. Is there anyone else? I'm sorry, the last name?
Hutchinson. John Hutchinson.
John Hutchinson.
John Hutchinson. Oh, I learned that this morning. Oh, the handwritten ones. Ah, thank you.
John Roberts also was on
Okay, here's the other list that have come forward this morning. Monroe Patterson. Cletus Nicely, I mentioned earlier, but Cletus Nicely. Bo Clark. Roy Wright. I've known Roy for years and I did not know he had served. Michael Mitchie. Dennis Nicely. Jason Nicely. Sean Wright. Robert Trice is here. Thank you, Robert, for coming. It was my pleasure to be with you yesterday. Robert, I have Y-O-P-P? Yeah? Okay. And Elwood Dasher. Thank you very much. I know that wasn't as organized as it could be, but we were doing the name listing this morning.
We've got another one.
Okay.
Sitting right next to me.
Patricia Jackson, 445.
Patricia Jackson, go for
The first name again?
Patricia.
Tricia Jackson, World War II.
Desert Storm. I'm sorry.
Okay. Do you?
I'll add her.
Janet, would you like your list back so you can upgrade it?
I'm gonna add it now.
You've got it somewhere, right? Okay. Well, I thank you. Another one. Skipper Folks. Okay. I would have recognized Skipper if I'd seen him. Thank you for coming. Okay. Huh?
Tom Stanley.
Tom Stanley? Okay. And where did he serve? Vietnam. Okay. Well, I'm going to give this list back to Janet, and I'm going to give Janet a clipboard, and I'm going to ask Janet to be over here in the corner, and let's not miss anybody that is here today. Veterans are around every day in your life. Just look, they're popping up here right now. They're not a loud group. One may be next to you that I have not yet identified. See what I mean? Ann Donovan, thank you very much for serving. Now I'll say what I was going to say. Let's see how many veterans are among us in the audience today that were not seated among us at the veterans table. If you're here, please stand to be recognized. I think we've done that. Is there anyone else? Okay, now let's recognize our wonderful first responders. From the Clifton Forge Police Department, I asked Sergeant Dave Carter to stand, please. Dave has been with the police force for 26 years and 7 months. He will retire on the 31st of August, 2019. He has served you well. From the county police, I'm looking for Chris Fisher. There's Chris. Thank you, Chris. I know you've seen him in his care vehicle. Thank you. Is the state police trooper here? Yes, sir. Thank you. I knew you were coming through, but I did not get your name. Roberts? Trooper Roberts. Thank you for coming. From the Clifton Forge Fire Department, representing all of the firemen, is Raymond Arrington. Thank you. And for the Clifton Forge Rescue Squad, I think I'm looking for Irene Booz. Oh, welcome. This is the first time in 4 years I didn't wave to them when they passed by, and I was saying something about them, and they were in the vehicle going down Church Street. So the first time I've had one in the audience in quite some time. I always try to find another first responder. And a few years ago, we recognized Steve Fenton, who on a snowy day in February rescued 4 people from the mountain, Warm Springs Mountain, for the state police because there had been an accident with 4 people in it up on the mountain. The police couldn't get there, and Steve went up in his snowmobile and brought them all back safely. Nothing has come to light to me as of the moment I'm standing here, but I think some of the first responders don't consider them first responders, and that's the mothers in the audience today. How many times a day do you first respond to your children? Some of them are emergencies and some of them are not, but the fact is you're there. So I recognize the mothers who are on call 24 hours a day for their children. Okay, these veterans and first responders here today are special in our country's history. On behalf of us here today, I thank each of our veterans for what you have done and each of our first responders for what you are doing every day of our lives. And now I invite Dale Mudespar and the Celebration Choir to provide an uplift to our spirits on this 243rd birthday to our nation. There you go.